Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at the RU65. Starting off with the box, it is really nicely designed, really detailed with the whole Egyptian theme. Once we unbox it, we see a nice thank you card alongside a build guide, a really cute build guide actually. It's basically a photo book of the steps you should follow. We have our plate, it is super clean, it has a ton of details on it, I really like it, and it also has a lot of flex cuts. With our plate, we will also find our silicone plate dampener. And we have our PCB. The one I have with me is the hot swap version. It also features a volume slider. This can be programmable via their software into something else if you want to use the slider for something else. In terms of PCB, the hot swap PCB actually supports only the standard ANSI layout with the 6.25U spacebar. But if you go with the soldered layout, you will have access to all the funky layouts like ISO, 7U, split backspace, and the list carries on. So let's get started building on our PCB. After installing our stabilizers, we put on our plate dampener followed by our plate. For my switches, I'll actually be using the Vertex V1 switches. I have used it before and I actually really like them. They come factory looped and they honestly sound perfect to me. It sounds perfect to my preference at least. It's a 5-pin linear switch with nylon housing and a long pole palm stem. Bottoms out at 62 grams. It's a really nice weight to type on and the nylon housing provides a really nice sound. The overall fit on the plate and the PCB is just, chef's kiss. It's so damn good. The silicone dampener actually fills up the flex cards. Like every single flex card is filled up and that makes it really easy to install my switches. Aside from that, the overall sides, the perimeter of the PCB and the plate is just so nicely detailed and fitted with the silicone dampener. It's so satisfying to look at. Anyway, it is time for our other parts, starting off with our counterweight. This thing is crazy. It's hella intricate and it just looks amazing. We also have our accessories and our slider scarab. For the case, I have with me the standard white version. Not sure if you can tell, but the board's inspired by the Egyptian mythology. Yeah, great observation, guys. Anyway, let's talk about some other stuff, let's talk about the lore of the keyboard. There's a code name for it and it's called Aten, A-T-E-N. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but yes. Aten basically is the name of the sun in ancient Egypt. It has a 6-degree typing angle, about 20mm high on the front. Towards the back where the Type-C is, it actually consists of 2 separate frames, which are designed with really nice details. The upper frame is engraved with hieroglyphs, I'm not sure if I said that right either, similar to the previous RU-TKL. I actually do know of the RU-TKL, and when they told me they were releasing RU-65, I was like, hell yes, send me this thing, I want to take a look at it. Anyway, for the lower bar, it is actually PVD coated with an engraving of the RU logo. For our weight, it is a scarab, and it looks quite insane for a keyboard. The detail in this weight for a keyboard is probably one of the most intricate weights I have seen on a custom keyboard. Both the weight and slider are themed around the scarab. The board has actually a lot of meaning behind all of the decisions they made. The design team actually big brained the whole thing and related everything, to the Egyptian theme. So if you're interested in more of this information that I'm sharing, you can check out the page down below in the description. They share more about the story. Alright, back to the keyboard. For mounting, this board is actually gasket mounted. But it is not your typical gasket mount. It doesn't use the Poron gasket foam or the gasket socks. They actually use these silicone tubes and it basically sandwiches purely using the case. Definitely an interesting take on the gasket mount. I'm gonna finish up the build, run some cinematics and run the typing tests. Overall, the board is actually extremely detailed and well themed around the Egyptian vibe. I really like it. I can understand if you're not into the Egyptian vibe, this might not be your cup of tea, but those who do like the Egyptian sort of vibe or just a huge fan of Egyptian stuff in general, this is probably one of the best themed Egyptian vibe keyboards. It's really hard to find these. It has a quite small target audience, but if you find it cool, you do find it cool, that's all. The entire building process felt extremely premium, but you know, for its price, I would expect it. I definitely did struggle with the gasket tubes because I didn't follow the build guide that they sent. But you know, if you follow the build guide, it's actually really simple. But overall, the build feels really premium. Unboxing, building, everything. Like the overall finish of the board is just like woo. As for the sound profile of the board does sound a little bit muted because of the silicone dampener. I might run it without silicone dampener, but I'm not too sure either. I'm happy with how it sounds. As for the sound personality of the board, I don't think it really has one. It's pretty balanced. It doesn't lean towards the thockier side or the clackier side of things. But that also makes it really easy to mod the keyboard to a certain sound preference. All you have to do is find a switch that has that certain sound profile, throw it into this balanced board and lean it towards the clackier or thockier side, and you will have a thocky keyboard or clacky keyboard, up to you. So yes, that is the Aru65. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are interested in the Aru65, please do check it out in the description down below. Do subscribe as well. We are like 30k away from 100k, pretty far, but you know, we can get there soon. Subscription is free. You can like this video if you enjoyed this video. Comment your thoughts on the keyboard down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.